In January 2026, the Iranian government killed tens of thousands of its own citizens to suppress the largest protests since the 1979 revolution. This domestic instability created a window for the United States and Israel to attempt a forced transition of power. On February 28, the coalition launched Operations Epic Fury and Roaring Lion. The centerpiece of the first wave was a decapitation strike that successfully assassinated the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. The opening 36 hours involved the most significant U.S. strategic deployment in decades. B-2 stealth bombers flew continuous sorties to deliver massive ordnance penetrators, 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs against hardened Iranian command sites. The sheer volume of fire was immense. In the first 24 hours alone, Israel dropped over 1,200 bombs, contributing to a combined coalition total of over 3,000 munitions in the opening day and a half. While the joint operation succeeded in its tactical goal of removing the Iranian leadership, it immediately initiated a conflict with an unprecedented material and financial burn rate. This technical layout of an Iranian industrial facility represents just one of the 10,000 targets struck by CENTCOM. The bombardment systematically dismantled missile production sites, steel plants, and heavy water research reactors. This chart tracks the immediate degradation of Iran's military. The coalition had successfully decimated Iran's conventional infrastructure, but the sheer cost of the munitions created an immediate logistical vulnerability for the U.S. and its allies. Depleted of its conventional options, Tehran turned to a strategy of horizontal and vertical escalation. Instead of a direct military counteroffensive, Iran expanded the war's geography and increased the impact on civilian infrastructure. Iran's retaliation was nearly instant, striking targets in 14 countries. The volume tested regional defenses. The UAE recorded over 2,100 intercepts. Hezbollah launched 3,500 rockets into Israel, and Iraqi proxies carried out 600 attacks. This drone wreckage is indicative of the hardware used to cause $800 million in damage across 17 sites used by the U.S. These strikes didn't just hit military runways, they targeted regional Amazon data centers and commercial airports. By targeting civilian and digital infrastructure, Iran effectively used regional geography to force a political resolution it couldn't achieve through conventional combat. The IRGC enforced a total closure of the Strait of Hormuz. They used naval mines and these swarms of fast attack boats to prevent any unapproved vessel from navigating the world's most critical energy corridor. This large commercial tanker is representative of the assets targeted. At least 25 international vessels were attacked, set on fire, or abandoned, effectively halting the flow of oil through the Gulf. To bypass the blockade, Iran began charging select vessels up to $2 million per voyage for safe passage, a direct extortion tactic that leveraged their control over the waterway. Because of the immediate surge in energy prices, economists now classify this blockade as the largest global supply disruption since the energy crisis of the 1970s. The Hormuz blockade forced a localized military operation to collide with the global energy market, triggering a shock to commodity prices that hasn't been seen in 50 years. By the end of the third week, direct U.S. military costs reached $18 billion. To sustain the war, the Pentagon has requested an additional $200 billion in immediate funding. This area chart shows how the $18 billion spent so far is only the beginning. Harvard economists project that future medical costs for veterans and ongoing operations will bring the total cost to the U.S. government to over $1 trillion. Amidst these escalating costs, the U.S. issued a 48-hour ultimatum for the reopening of the strait and circulated a 15-point peace plan to Tehran, using Pakistan as a diplomatic bridge. Iran rejected the plan entirely. Instead, they submitted a 5-point counterproposal demanding war reparations and permanent sovereignty over the shipping lanes in the strait. With the April 6th deadline approaching, the success or failure of these talks will decide if the current shipping and energy disruptions remain a temporary spike or become the new baseline for global trade.